zipper into the side seam of the slipcover. This was a Parsons Chair slipcover with welt in the side seam and a short skirt. So we'll apply a zipper to run down this seam. Most of your slipcovers won't need a zipper, but on the 1 out of every 10 or 1 out of every 100 that needs one, it's good to know how to do it. I recommend that if you are a subscriber to the Drapery Design Professional magazine, that you keep volume 2009 issue 2 handy, because it's a good reminder of a step-by-step to do this, and good thing to kind of read and review before you get started. Really, the overall concept is this is not apparel sewing. Okay? What we're looking for is neat and tidy and structurally sound. One good tip I've discovered over the years is, rather than sewing a zipper up one side and down the other and keeping your fingers crossed that it ends at the right point, it actually, you'll have much more success if you start from the bottom and go up on one side, and start from the bottom on the other side and go up. That things tend to work themselves out, and you'll end up with the zipper going through the skirt and ending and ending at the right length. Okay? So we'll do that. To prep for it, however, usually you've done everything about the slipcover and you've just left these 2 seams open. Okay? You want to stitch the welt cord to the side piece and leave the welt cord off the back. It seems to be simply a little more invisible when the cord is left on the side and not on the back. So you can see that's already been done and both sides have been serged off. Okay? Now your final stitching would have been coming around and applying the skirt. Right? And when you got to the end, you'd be asking yourself, what do I do there? Should I go ahead and stitch through it, or should I handle it another way? And I'm going to recommend something here. For this part, it's good to kind of get rid of bulk. Okay? And one very nice way to do that is to pull that cord out and eliminate the bulk that way. Okay? Another thing you can consider is just ending the cord, finishing it off and ending it there. I'll demonstrate that as well. That's the method I prefer these days, is opening that seam up, cutting the cord back even further, and then having that cord just end there. Now this skirt panel, which was just cut off, I'd like to have that finished, so I'm going to serge that before I connect these pieces. I'll come back and serge that and clean that up. Now I can come back and work on this. Okay, folding that back, getting that out of the way. Nice, huh? Okay. If I fold that back like that, here's a nice little trick. See, I've got both folded back nice and neat, right? Instead of tucking that back, if I wrap this forward around it, you'll see how it's going to conceal all of our things. Okay, see that? The welt cord's folded back, seam allowance is folded back for the part going up the back, and this extra skirt I'm going to wrap to the top. And then the wonderful walking foot machine, which can handle all that bulk, is going through it. And since going reverse tends to break needles, I'm going to just hop back and then just running over it twice. Now my challenge is to remove bulk. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Cut that away. A lot of bulk to remove, huh? Make sure that I don't lose any of those threads. Sometimes with loose fabric. This is Sunbrella. It's very good that way. Nice tight weaves. Okay. Add some glue there so things don't slide through. And then watch what happens when I turn this around. See how it hid all that? It's still going to be a nightmare to stitch through here, but at least, again, it's neat and tidy, right? It's neat and tidy, and we're going to get a straight stitch. And we don't have, you know, as much bulk as we would have had in the other direction. On the other side, we can do the same thing. Where in the other direction, we want to remove the bulk from this. There we go, folding that back. This doesn't have to go back very far. And then we can serge that off and wrap it around. Okay, we got that folded back. That's folded back. This is going placed down. And what do? We wrap this to the front, right? Go a little ways, and then since I don't like to back tack on my walking foot, you might do that 3 times instead of just 2. There's some bulk. And same technique, right? Chop away all that bulk, seal it with glue. Flip it around so that it's a neat and tidy finish. Now, I have to say that the bulk on this slip cover is about as heavy as you're going to be dealing with, right? It is, you've got a big lump, it's very heavy fabric, and you probably won't have a project heavier than this, so keep that in mind. Our zipper, we're going to insert so that we're sewing it up this side and up the other side. So that's going to affect how we can do it. I'm going to cut a length of zipper. I'm going to put the pull on. This is a number 4.5 nylon zipper from Rolling Company. I'm going to put the pull on. And at the bottom here, I'm going to start the zipper by folding it up into that fold. Again, neat and tidy and structurally sound, right? Like that? It's a real nice way to finish that off. Now remember, this is not dressmaking, so we want straight lines and we want structurally sound, but beyond that, and I'm just making sure I'm avoiding the teeth. Now here we've got that bulk here and then a space, so I'm just going to get the cord back on over there once I hop this. Okay. And now when we hop it, we've got to make sure that the walking foot machine's not going to gather up the teeth. Okay, it's not going over. So what am I going to do? I'm going to lift the foot up and walk it. There we go. Now I'm over it. Now I can go back over and yeah, I'm going to see the teeth there, but it's structurally sound. And now I can kind of aim for the ditch of my welt cord. See that? Mm-hmm. So I'm really not using the welt foot here. I'm just kind of riding things and aiming. And you know, I do need to make sure that I'm not stitching through those teeth. So I want that stitch to be on the outside of those teeth. You see that? Pushed out there a little bit. Okay, now we want to go bottom up on this side. In order to do bottom up on this side, it's a different game. You see how I'm kind of, that prong is up on the teeth? Mm-hmm. That seems to be sewing okay. Hopefully I'm not going too close. And as I get to an area that's really lumpy, I've got to get farther away from the teeth, otherwise the pull's never going to come through it. So even though it looks like I'm kind of all over the place, I'm really just making it so that the pull is going to make it down. And now I can kind of pull back over there a little bit. Bulk. And now that I'm over the bulk, I can kind of pull these things to make sure that they're lining up the same way. Your back tack as far up as you can go. Now you can go back and you can drop that seam to here. Just a little bit farther down. While you're at it, you can put a stop on your zipper. Chop that off. See, this stitch ends up being pretty inconspicuous because it's as in the groove as we can make it. Let me pull this down. Remember, we were away from the teeth here, otherwise you just can't get it past that bulk. And down at the bottom, what's important is that it's neat and tidy and things line up. And we have the zipper, so the only like unsightly area is right there. And that's where you can put a rosette. Right.
There you go.
So,
Looks
fun,
good.
huh? So, extra half an hour at least on a slipcover project. Now, there are easier ways to put in zippers if your fabric's thinner. But we're doing it, you have to be on this machine. You have to deal with the bulk, right? And again, it's structurally sound and it's tidy. And the fact that that stitch is visible, if you look at any high-end magazine, if there's a zipper, that's just the way it is. Okay, that's a zipper. To put an invisible zipper in an upholstery fabric, don't even try to get close. Just get it in that groove and go, because you can get too close and then it bends over. Right? But the finer fabrics take more time. But you see how it doesn't even look puckered at this point?
Nope.
You know.
It.
So for slipcovers, you know, this is an acceptable way to close a back, but you'd actually put your zipper in your back panel first, and then pin fit it to the rest of the sofa. So you're working with a completed piece. And I would make it so this was far beyond where you wanted it to actually end, because you could always finish off your slipcover and cut this shorter. But trying to make the zipper longer after it's all together is not easy. Yeah. If we cut out an inch or so of the teeth and drop the pull on one side first, we'll have an easier time. And then line up the pull to this side. Open up the teeth a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier. Slide that in until you hear it click. And then the pull slides right on.